Hello, my name is Dohoon, and I will be talking about Exodus 1, which I named as Pharaoh's Threatening. As a summary of Exodus 1, Jacob, Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, Benjamin, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, and Asher went to Egypt. And when Joseph and all his generation has died, Israelites were so numerous and so that Egypt was filled mostly with Israelites. So the new pharaoh was kind of feared if they would grow stronger and rebel against him. So they kind of put he kind of put harsher labor on Israelites, but they didn't help. That didn't help. So Egypt pharaoh then came out with idea to kill all the baby boys. Um, so he ordered midwives to do the killing, but they did not listen to him because they were feared of God on what he would punish on them. So when King asked them for the reason, they said the Hebrew woman gave birth even before they were arrived, which means that um, even before they came for help, they already gave birth to the children, baby boys. They couldn't do what Pharaoh told them to do. So repeated words. Boys came out 4 times, Israelites came out 3 times, and Egypt came out 6 times. Question I had about Exodus 1. Why the king of Egypt commanded to kill all the boys but not girls? Um, it kind of came out with this that boys could form armies while girls couldn't. So Pharaoh only killed boys who will later rebel against them. So why did forced labor make Israelites be more multiplied and spread? Um, this what this is my opinion, but the harsh labor can actually help the Israelis to exercise and make them stronger, and it kind of help them to grow bigger and stronger. Mm, and the comments about Exodus 1. Yeah, the Israelis behaved them so peacefully and inoffensively. They could not find an occasion of making war upon them and weakening them that by means, and therefore they took care to keep them poor, and by charging them with high taxes, which some think and included burdens with which they afflicted them. By this means they took an effectual course to make them slaves. It's on Exodus 1:11 through 14. And the Egyptians' indication of as at Israel's increase, notwithstanding the many hardships they put upon them, drove them at length to most barbarous and inhuman methods of suppressing them. By the murder of their children, it was strange that they did not rather pick quarrel with the grown man against whom they might perhaps find some occasion to be thus bloody towards the infants, whom all must own to be innocence was in which they had to cloak for. I was talking about like the action they took, and um, the guy who commanded on this think that this action was inappropriate, like killing the boy babies. And the comments are from BibleStudyTools.com. Translator's note from Exodus 1. Um, he said the instructions must have been temporarily or selective, otherwise the decree from the king would have ended the slave population of Hebrews. It is also possible that the king did not think through this, but simply took steps to limit the population growth. The narrative is not interested in supplying details, only portraying the king as wicked fool bent on destroying Israel. It's on Exodus 1:16. And the point of this brief section is that the midwives respected God above king and simply followed a higher authority that prohibited killing. Feared God is a basic part of the true faith that leads to an obedient course of action and is not terrifying or worldly threats, like what Pharaoh told them to do. Yeah, it was on Exodus 1:19. These comments are from bible.org/netbible. Answer to the questions: what does your chapter show about God? This chapter shows that God did not let evil to do whatever they want to do. And also from this chapter, God was kind to those people, midwives, who followed Him and feared Him. This shows that God is always waiting for us to know how great our God is. And what does your chapter show about people? This chapter shows that how weak we are and how people like obeying to whatever Pharaoh told them to do, even though they knew that it was not right thing to do. And on the other hand, there were some people who could stand against Pharaoh's command, and they feared God more than the Pharaoh, and so they chose not to do whatever Pharaoh told them to do. And it shows that people could fight against evil when they are with God. Um, yeah.